Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Windows command line or command prompt course. This is going to be part 2. In part 1, we went through the introduction to the command line or the command prompt. We answered the question of why we would need to use that in this day and age. And then we went over changing directories and drive letters. So today this is going to be part 2, which is going to be dedicated to listing contents of a directory. We'll go through a few things there, and then I will show you also at the end of how to list contents by file extension and then like partial file name or directory name. So let's get started, guys. So once you log into, I'm sorry, not really log into, but open your command prompt in Administrator, which we went through in part 1 of this. If you don't know how to do that, refer back to part 1. I highly suggest watching part 1 before you proceed with this one. Link is down in the description below. So today we're going to go through the listing of the contents of a directory. So as you see, and what we've learned in part 1 is we are in the Windows directory and then the subdirectory called System32. So what I did show you before, or actually I did not show you before, of how to list contents. The primary simple command for listing contents in a directory is just dir. And that, once you hit enter, shows you all the contents in that directory, whether that is files and or folders. It shows both. Now, as you guys saw when I did that, and I'll do it again, it is listing quite a bit, and that is because there are tons of files in the Windows System32 directory. So one thing that I can show you, which is a neat little trick, if you do a dir space \p, that P switch stands for pause. So you will see once I hit enter after dir/p, it will only list as much as is viewable on your screen. So it will list those, and it does it alphabetical, as you can see, and it will pause so you can kind of see what you're doing step by step here. You can take a look at these files. And just to continue, you can hit any key. I just use enter, and it will go to the next, and so on and so forth until you get to the end. I'm going to go ahead and tab through these because, like I said, there is quite a bit. So yeah, guys, again, that dir/p stands for pause, and it will pause these like it is showing here. Goodness, there's a lot. All right, we're almost to the end there. Okay, goodness. Yeah, as you see, there's 4,619 files in this directory and 130 directories. So isn't that lovely? So anyway, back to what I was showing you. We're just going to do a dir / again, or no slashes. But if I want to show you back through here, after we listed the contents of the directory with the dir command, it will spit out all of the files and directories in that folder. Now I wanted to show you something here, and this is a good place to stop here. You can tell the difference between directories and files in this by simply this right here. Anything that is a directory, it will have this little indication dir here. So this Windows PowerShell is a directory. This WinEVT is a directory. Everything else that you're seeing here are files in the Windows System/Windows or System32 directory. So again, keep in mind difference between directories and files in here. Now that you guys have seen the dir command, which lists all files, you've also seen dir \p, which I'm not going to do because that takes us forever to get through. I'm going to backspace that, and I'm going to show you another one, which is dir /w, and this stands for wide view. So once we hit enter on this, you will see that it has 2 rows here now, and it has expanded it to be wider. Now, like if we scroll up here, before that, you will see it is just one single row there. And this is where I gave it the command to go wider. And so now you see two. It's just a different way to view that. One difference that I can definitely point out, if you do the dir /w, it does not give you the last modified date and times here like that, or the file sizes of these. So just keep that in mind if you're wanting to do the /w. And if it is important to you to see the last modified date and time and the file sizes of those, you might want to use just regular dir or dir /p. Now there are some other ones that we might get to on in the course, but I am definitely just showing you in this one anyway, the basics of listing out directories. Okay, so let's scroll back to the bottom. Here's another cool one. And before I show you guys this, I'm going to recommend that unless you have to really change something, or, you know, maybe track down to see if you're looking for weird files that really just don't belong, maybe like a virus or malware, you really shouldn't toy with this next one, but I want you guys to be aware of it. And that is dir /a. And what the /a does is it shows you hidden files and folders. So we're going to hit that. Now you'll see a lot more in here, obviously not like right off the bat because there's so much in here anyway. I actually might switch to a different directory to show you guys this, but this shows a lot more. Now you have 139 directories. Let's go down to just Windows. Let's directory that out. Okay. You see you have 26 files, 80 directories. Now let's run that dir /a in here and keep an eye on these 26 and 80, and let's run that. Okay, now it's showing 28 files and 87 directories. And so it has 2 more files and 7 more directories in here, which are hidden. Again, those are hidden. I would not recommend coming in here and messing with any of that. Me showing you the /a is strictly for your knowledge, just to know that it is there. So let's move on from that. And the next thing that I'm going to show you guys here is you can list out files and folders by a partial name, and you can also do it by a file extension. So say for instance, you're in this folder and you're like, you know what, I want to see, let's just see this. Okay. You see these log files and you think, I want to see all, I just want it to list all log files. Well, that's actually pretty easy to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to do dir like always. Then you're going to do a space. Then you're going to do an asterisk. Now this actually stands for wildcard. So it is opening it up to completely search itself or search this folder wildcard wise based upon the next bit of information you get it. So this is saying list a directory. Essentially that asterisk says all, and so we're going to do all or asterisk dot log. Now this is telling the system, hey, I just want you to search this for all log files. And once you give it that command and hit enter, it gives us all log files that are in this C Windows directory. So you've got 8 of them there. Not bad. And you can do the same thing. I'm seeing a lot of DLL files up here. Say you wanted to look for DLLs. Same thing. dir asterisk for all .dll for the file extension. And there you go. It's telling us, there's only one DLL. For some reason, I don't believe that, but I guess that's true. So, okay. But anyway, you get the point now to search all extensions of a type. But what about files or folders that you can't, like a partial, you know what it starts with, but you can't remember, like the whole file name or the whole folder name? Well, that's actually pretty easy too. So we're going to do the kind of the same here. We're going to do dir and we're going to do space. And then what we're going to do is say, for instance, all right, let's take up here something like this. Let's say you know it starts with, I'm having a hard time thinking of this. All right, let's say that you know that it starts with service, okay? You got this service, that service, this service. You know that it starts with service, but you can't quite remember if it's service profile, service state, servicing. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the DIR, and then we're going to do space, and then you'll type like the first part of it. So we're going to do services, so it's just going to be SER. Okay, and then we will do the wildcard. And this essentially says list everything in this directory that starts with SER. So once you do that, you just hit enter, and there you go. It lists the 3 files, and then you're like, oh, that's right, it was service state. I remember now. So anyway, guys, that concludes part 2. Again, we just went over the listing the contents of a directory. We did the P, the W, and the A switches, and I also showed you how to list the files and or folders by extension or partial name. Anyway, guys, that is it. I look forward to seeing you guys in part 3 coming up. If this helped you out at all, please drop a like. And if you're not subscribed, I would greatly appreciate if you did get subscribed for future content. Thanks, guys.